Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on the story. Continue to watch, like, share, subscribe, and always come back. It will help the channel to grow. Today, I'm talking on something that leaves a sour taste in my mouth, although it's relatively common: suicide. So, it is being reported that a young lady has taken her own life owing to some argument, disagreement between herself and her boyfriend, who incidentally was also pressuring her for money. Godswill Chinecherem Okoro, the Students' Union Government Director of Information and Publicity of Akanu Ibiam Polytechnic, confirmed the incident in a statement. Ms. Olivia James, an undergraduate student of Library and Information Science, Akanu Ibiam Polytechnic, Wana, Ebonyi State, has reportedly committed suicide over a heartbreak. The student was said to have drunk a substance suspected to be sniper and was rushed to a nearby hospital where she was confirmed dead on arrival. Sources available said that she committed suicide because of her boyfriend who left her. And she also sent a rather detailed WhatsApp message to a friend of hers detailing what happened. She left a suicide note and so on. What I was able to gather from the different pieces of information I put together was that essentially her boyfriend, who wasn't even somebody who was treating her right to begin with, had been pressuring her for money to start a business or something. She already has a business of her own. I mean, this tells you that this is a very hardworking and industrious young lady. She was into confectionery, cakes, and things like this. And also a student. Who knows, maybe she was paying her way through school herself. And this fellow that she was involved in, only, identified or named as Henry, had been pressuring her for money. And it is said that she had, promised him that she would work towards saving up 100,000 naira on a regular basis to give him and help him in whatever venture it was he said he wanted to do. And she had saved up to 700,000 naira. For a student to save up to 700,000 naira, even if she has a thriving business concern, that shows you that this is somebody who has some sense of fiscal discipline. So she had managed to save up to 700,000 naira, but her goal was to get to 1 million and then, hand the money over to him to whatever. Anyway, I think this fellow got impatient and, started pressuring her. Oh, there was some kind of business he quickly needed to inject some funds into, and 500,000 naira would go a long way. She said it wouldn't be possible. She had tied the money up somehow, I guess. Maybe she put it in a fixed deposit account, I don't know. But it wasn't money she could readily access. And he kept pressuring her on, okay, if you can't do 500,000, at least let's make it 300,000. I still can't do 300,000. And from there, it escalated to, some kind of quarrel. I'm sure a lot of nasty words were exchanged. I am almost betting that she was on the receiving end of the nasty words, and everything. And after the argument or whatever it was, this fellow, essentially went cold on her, wouldn't take her calls, went incommunicado, and when somebody eventually started picking up the calls, it was another woman's voice that this young industrious lady, heard. I am guessing that because she was already upset, by the time she started hearing another woman's voice on the other end of the line, she probably assumed that this fellow, was so upset with her that he had gotten involved with another lady to the point where that woman could take his calls and things like this. And she saw this as a red flag that was worthy of her taking the drastic decision to end her own life. This is a sad story by any accounts. It's about taking a permanent decision over a temporary problem. That's always my view on suicide. Because you know what? It gets better. It gets better. No matter how much pain you are in right now, the only constant thing in life is change. It gets better. I don't know what other circumstances may have been involved in this. Like most of these stories that come online, there's hardly sufficient backstory to it, so you are left guessing and wondering and pondering and so on. Is it possible that there were other mitigating circumstances, like were there other things in her life that weren't going well for her, and she now saw this as the final straw? Was it just that she was so emotionally invested in this person that she felt that any kind of rift between them was so earth shattering? Were they working toward marriage? Was she somebody who was already maybe depressed and nobody knew? Did she have any mental health challenges going on? Was it the culmination of a perfect storm? You see, for me, considering the amount of pressure this fellow was putting her under, I want to guess that he is these kind of losers. There's some people are losers, especially some men are losers. They have nothing good to offer anybody. They are psychopathic in their disposition. They are narcissistic in their in their ways. I'm using these terms as a layperson. They don't care. They don't care. As long as their need, this is the kind of person who, even in marriage, will be very happy to send his wife out to be made a prey by other people, other men of influence, who will insist that she must meet certain terms and conditions before they will do something either for the husband or for her. And if she refuses, it will become a problem. That is that kind of person. Reports also have it that the fellow is on the run. I don't know why he's on the run. Because the thing is, with my own little knowledge of law, sadly, he didn't ask her to kill herself. He didn't really, he cannot even be charged for manslaughter. That's the truth. I wish this girl had spoken to somebody. I wish she had poured her. You see, she's already dead now. Her chapter is closed. After a short while, this Henry of a fellow will realize that the truth is there's nothing the law can do to him. Even family members who want to take revenge, if she has those kinds of family members, they'll be afraid of the law. So he'll probably go scot-free. And if you really come to brass tacks, he did not wield the weapon. He did not ask her to kill herself. So nothing will happen to him. He will live his life. As I speak, I know a lady who was in a relationship with a guy who used to brag to her that she doesn't see his worth because she she just got him very easily. Doesn't she know that somebody once committed suicide because of him? This guy uses that thing as bragging rights. Somebody once killed herself because of me. The day that lady told me that thing, I said, luckily you are not married to this chap. What are you still doing in that relationship? Leave. Young ladies, stop hanging with losers. Marriage is good. If you marry a loser, better you had never married in your life. There's nothing wrong with being single though. Naturally, whatever you don't have, you long for. And ordinarily, marriage is good, especially when you meet the right person. If these are the kinds of people that you are encountering, please be patient until you meet a normal human being. People will marry at different points in their life. Just this morning, a friend of mine posted on Facebook, her older sister, who is 61, just got married recently. And it all starts with the kinds of people you date. There is no rule that says you have to suffer with a guy to marry him. There are different colors of suffering. If you meet somebody who is level-headed and treats you well and kindly and values you as a human being, and that person is going through some hard times, that is different. That's not the kind of suffering I'm referring to. By all means, persevere with that kind of person. That person is a quality person that you need to keep around. I'm talking of these jerks who, maybe because they have a few pennies, maybe they have one small stupid car somewhere, they are staying in one ramshackle place somewhere, they are managing one room that has a TV and a small CD player. They now begin to feel like demigods. You will come, you will clean his house, you will cook, you will clean, you will scrub, you will do this, you will go to the market, you will sweep, you will beat you. If you have money, he will seize it. He is working, you are a student, but you are the one funding his lifestyle. Pick and choose wisely. Don't date from a place of desperation. Have self-worth. Value yourself. Put yourself first, I dare say. You come to his house, if he's sweeping and dusting and cleaning, help him. But don't make it your responsibility. Once in a while he's broke, you have a bit of excess, you give him something small. But don't make it. I know girls that are going around doing sugar daddy work up and down so that they'll come and fund the lifestyle of one small boyfriend somewhere. Why? My heart goes out to the family. It's tragic, it's touching. And if there is anybody out there, male or female, that is contemplating suicide, please don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not a psychologist. I don't have the right words to counsel you with. All I can say is that what life has taught me is that it gets better. If anything, remind yourself that the only constant thing in life is change. Things get better if you are able to gather yourself and withstand the different shocks and nasty experiences that life will throw at you. Many people have gone through these things. We are not all the same. We don't all have the same capacity to withstand shock and pain. But if you are somebody out there who is currently contemplating suicide for any reason, just don't do it. Try. There are suicide helplines. If you go online and check, I think on Twitter there's something there's there's um there's this handle called Mentally Aware. They are good. I know because I once linked somebody with them and the person is fine. They counseled that person in that moment and the person was able to stop themselves from doing something. Seek help. If you know that you feel you are hitting rock bottom for any reason, be it romantic, financial, health related, somebody died and you feel as if your life has also come to an end, whatever, you find that your academics, you are overwhelmed, you are failing jam repeatedly, you are not able to, whatever it is, seek help. I'm not an advocate for Mentally Aware Nigeria. That is the one I know. And I've seen that they intervened in somebody's situation and it helped the person. That is why I'm putting their name out there in this video. Whatever the challenge is, suicide is too final of an answer.